All right, today we're going to look at graphing linear equations using the slope-intercept form. All right, so you know our slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is our slope and b is our y-intercept. All we have to do is pick these two pieces off of our equation and then graph our y-intercept and use our slope to count our rise over run to get another point. Then we would connect it with a ruler and arrows on the end, and we have graphed a slope-intercept equation. All right, so here are our rules that you have, or snapshot them if you don't. Y equals mx plus b is a slope-intercept form of a linear equation. We're going to graph y equals 5x minus 3. So the first thing we want to do is identify the slope, which is m, and the y-intercept, which is b. So our slope in this case is 5. And remember that if it is an integer, positive or negative, you're going to put it over 1 because we need a rise over run. So keep in mind our slope is a rise over run. And the rise is our change in our y values and our change in our x values. So our subtract y's and our subtract x's. All right. Next, we're going to identify our y-intercept, and our y-intercept is the number that appears right after the x and complete with sign. So in this case, it's not plus a number, it's minus a number, so we take the negative sign with it, and our y-intercept, which is denoted by the letter b, is -3. So the point that we get, step 2, is 0, -3. We will graph that point, use our slope to rise 5, and run to the right 1 because they're both positive, and we'll draw a line to connect our points. So I'm going to keep this here, and we're going to bring up our graph. All right, so you should also create your XY coordinate plane. If you need to do that, pause here, get that done. Label your X and Y axes. I'm going to darken these a little bit for you. And this is our origin, okay? And we're going to go 0, -3. So we're not going to go left or right. Remember, this is a y-intercept, so we're going to go down 1, 2, 3. All right, and that is our y-intercept to put your point. Now you're going to walk your slope. You're going to rise 5. Our slope is 5 over 1. So we're going to go up 5 and right 1. And that's how I talk to myself when I do this. And it would be a good idea for you, another strategy. So from the point you just created and plotted, you're going to walk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go to the right 1, and you're going to put a point. Then you're going to get your ruler, okay, and you're going to connect your 2 points carefully. Go all the way through the coordinate plane, arrows on both ends. And this is the equation of y equals 5x minus 3. That's its name. And there you have it. And as you can see, your line is increasing, and that makes sense because your slope is positive. All right, let's take a look at another one. We have y equals 3x over 4. So again, the first thing we want to do is identify our slope. And our slope is the number that is partnered with x. So it always appears before x, and in this case, it's 3 over 4. So our slope is 3 over 4. And our y-intercept is the 1, and it's positive, and it's plus b, so it's just going to be a positive 1. And the point that gives us is 0, 1. All right, so we're going to graph now. All right. So remember, this is our y-intercept. So this is our y-axis. That's our x-axis. Make that darker. There's our origin where we start, and we don't move left or right. We just go up 1 to our y-intercept point, and we plot 0, 1. Now, from that point you plotted, you're going to walk up 3 and right 4, because it's a positive 3 over 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and put a point. Okay, and we're going to graph by connecting and all the way through. Now, if you happen to be using IXL, after you create your first point and click, when you walk up, your line's going to follow you, so to say. Ignore the line that's following you and still do the method of 1, 2, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, click on IXL, and then your line will stay stationary. And there you have it. And the name of this is y equals 3 over 4x plus 1. That's the equation of this line that we've graphed. All right, next one. Y equals negative 1x over 3 plus 4. Again, our slope is the number in front of the x. So y equals negative 1/3 x. I'm sorry, negative 1/3. X doesn't become part of the slope, my slip. And the y-intercept is plus 4. So it's 0, 4. All right, so let's graph that guy. Move him over. All right, so we're going to go, this is our y, this is our x-axis, labeled nicely. We're going to go not left or right, but up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And now, looking at our slope, it's negative 1 over 3. You use the negative sign once, okay? So down 1 and right 3. The down takes care of the negative sign. All right, so we're going to go from the point you graphed down 1, but 1, 2, 3 to the right. And take your ruler very carefully. Okay, try not to let anything move. Arrows on both ends. And it makes sense that our slope is negative 1/3, and our line as we go left to right is going downward. Okay, so that is a negative slope. So y equals negative 1/3 x. Okay, make those negatives dark enough so you can see them. Plus 4, and that is the slope, the line we just graphed.